Depending on the day in the stock market, Dax de Silva is almost a billionaire. There's lots of ways the tech entrepreneur could spend his money. His latest plan? Buy up land and give it away.
In order to fight climate change, in order to protect species and ecosystems, conservation, we need to have more investment.
De Silva recently donated $14.5 million to the BC Parks Foundation. It used the money to buy this, the French Creek estuary, where tens of thousands of eagles return each year. And this, the Pitt River watershed, home to salmon, grizzlies, and elk. The Parks Foundation says it will ensure neither parcel of land will ever be developed.
These are critical habitats, and we have to start protecting these areas.
Dax de Silva is the founder and CEO of Lightspeed.
De Silva made his multi-millions on a retail point-of-sale system.
Welcome to the Lost Piedras River. This is all the new land protected by...
He recently stepped down as CEO of Lightspeed while staying on his chair to focus on his environmental organization, supporting conservation projects in Canada and around the world. De Silva's activism started long before his tech success. In the 90s, a teenage De Silva protested old-growth logging at Clayoquot Sound. Conservation efforts by billionaires go back to the time of the Rockefellers. The oil-rich industrial magnates helped develop much of the U.S. national park system. These days, some of the largest private conservation efforts on the planet are in Chile and Argentina, led by Christine Tompkins and her late husband Douglas. They made a fortune in clothing manufacturing. She was the head of Patagonia. He owned the North Face. Since they started buying land in the 1990s, they have created 13 new national parks and expanded 4 others.
We were foreigners, and we were spending a lot of money on huge tracts of land and saying we're going to conserve them, not cut the forest down. And there just wasn't a precedent for that.
It took decades to get local communities and governments on side.
You're confronting a development model and conservation, and they inherently and will always conflict.
Dax de Silva's British Columbia donation was met with skepticism too.
Initially, there was concern, just like I had, that it's involving BC Parks, and oh no, they're going to try and stop us from practicing our traditional ways.
Rick Bailey is an elected band councillor with the Katzie First Nation. The Pitt River watershed is traditional Katzie territory. The First Nation has been working for decades to protect it. It needed reassurances about the De Silva donation.
We will continue to use the land and resources as we always have.
And if it takes someone really rich to make that happen, he's okay with it.
There's more and more of it happening, and I'm happy to see it. We didn't have the money.
De Silva wasn't the only donor to help protect the eagles at French Creek. In addition to his big bucks, the Parks Foundation collected small bucks through a crowdfunding campaign. De Silva wants to inspire others to give what they can.
There is this doom and gloom narrative around the environment, and I think that it's so important to turn that around into a narrative of hope, especially with everything we have to accomplish.
Donations big and small may be just one way to address the huge challenges ahead, but De Silva plans to keep on making them. Saving land and the planet won't come cheap. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Vancouver.